with a no interest deal. You want that deal. You want the 2 years with no interest. You want that deal. So when you go ahead and put in your application, you found, what you wanted. It was $2,500. Put in your application, and they give. I'm putting up air quotes in the studio, and they give you a $5,000 credit limit. Don't go back on the floor. Don't go back out there on the floor looking to spend the additional $2,500. Don't do that. Maybe you saw something else that you liked and you might want to add it to that purchase, but I'm going to caution you to not do that, because at this point, in this particular example, if you go back on that floor, you got $2,500 already that you have spent, and you go back on that floor because they gave you $5,000. You're like, oh my God, I can get something better, or I can get some additional things that I wanted. And you go back on that floor and do that. In this particular example, already with your new credit card from XYZ Furniture Store, with your new credit card, you're at 50% already. They gave you $5,000. You're spending $2,500. That's half of the $5,000. So you're at 50% utilization. You want to get down to 30% of that $5,000 as soon as possible. So even though you have no interest and all that other stuff, you want to get down to 30% of that as possible. And let me say this, the 30% is the highest threshold you want to be at. Of course, if you're at 15, you're at 20, or you're at 7% of your utilization, that's much, much better. Your score will go up incrementally. The further that you go down, you get down closer to zero when it comes to your credit card debt. So in this example, you always want to be at 30% or less. So in this example of $5,000, 30% of $5,000 is $1,500. That's where you want to be. So that would be a good threshold and something to think about with anything at all. So you got to change your mindset with your current cards too. Your current cards and any new card that you might get. I'm sure they're sending you things in the mail every day. You might want to apply for something. Black Friday is coming up. Everybody's going to be out there doing their thing with Black Friday. They're going to offer you additional 25% off if you apply for the credit card and get it and all that kind of stuff. You need to change your mindset before you get there. So if you go in, you apply for that credit card, and they give you that credit card, and even with your current cards, like I said, and you do that, you want to be at 30% of whatever limit that they give you, 30% or less, and that's going to help you with your credit score. So from now on, somebody offers you the credit card, you take that credit card, you get $1,000. Hey, great, you got $1,000. Don't think I got $1,000 to spend in your head. Don't think that. You have 30% of that $1,000, which is $300. That's what you have to spend on that credit card to help you with your credit score. Now, if you just need to spend the money, knock yourself out, spend the money. If you have the ability to pay it off every month, great, pay it off every month. If you can go and charge $500 on that $1,000 and you're going to pay $300 the next month, bringing your balance down to $200, which gives you a 20% utilization, excellent. That's a great way to do it. That's what you want to do then. Go ahead, knock yourself out, and do that with your credit card. So I'm going to take a pause for the calls. I'm past the halfway point of the show, and I'm going to do a couple more shout outs, and then we're going to do the question of the day as well. So let me do these shout outs right quick. Tanya May, she celebrated her birthday last week, so happy birthday to you, Tanya May. Louis Khalil, this is my cousin, y'all. This is my little big cousin, because he's not a little dude, but this is my cousin, Louis Khalil. Louis Cathy. He celebrated a birthday earlier this week. So happy birthday to you, Lil Lou. Happy birthday to Barry Johnson. Yes, this is the Barry Johnson. So I don't know any other Barrys that you know, but this is the Barry Johnson, the Lone Ranger himself. Happy birthday to you, Barry. Jeff Kane, actor extraordinaire Jeff Kane from Gary, Indiana. Happy birthday to you, Jeff. Karen Hereford, she celebrated her birthday as well, so happy birthday to you, Karen. And so let's jump into the question of the day before I do a couple of more shout outs and end this show, because like I said, we got to get it all in today for Cameron's birthday. So this very, very loaded question came from Jennifer, and I don't remember where Jennifer is from. So, when I do that, I like to just pick a place. Since I met a man yesterday from New Mexico, I'm going to pick New Mexico. So Jennifer from New Mexico said, why doesn't good credit last forever? That's an extremely good question. It's an extremely loaded question. And when I received it, I really had to think about it. So, and Jennifer emailed me. So you can email me too. 800 at creditscoreman.com. Yes, 800 at creditscoreman.com is my email address that you can send your questions to, and maybe you'll become part of the 800 Credit Score Man show family as well. So, why doesn't good credit last forever? So, here's my thought process on that. So, good credit doesn't last forever because, like I said earlier, they're evaluating risk. So, if you have had good credit, you've made payments on time, you reached the threshold of, say, a 750, a 800 credit score, and then you kind of stop. If you stop there and you don't do anything to deal with your credit, if you don't make any moves with your credit, if you will, like things that can positively impact your credit score, or if you don't do anything at all with your credit, then no, you are not going to be able to maintain your credit score. So you don't get to that point of a excellent credit score and then just stop using your credit, because they're evaluating your risk. And if they have nothing to look at, if they're looking around to see, hey, what's going on with this credit card, what's with this car, what's with this student loan, what's with this mortgage, and you don't have anything on there for them to evaluate, then you're not going to keep your credit score. You're not going to keep a good credit score. So just because you reach that threshold, that doesn't mean that you need to stop doing things with your credit. Every once in a while, it's like maintenance. You go and you buy the good house, the nice house, or whatever or you've had this house forever, and you finally decide, I'm doing the deep cleaning. I'm going to doing the deep cleaning on my bathroom, and you do the deep cleaning on your bathroom, and then you don't clean it again for another 6 months. It's not going to stay clean. It's just not going to stay clean, right? So you got to think about it like that when it comes to your credit. You're going to have to continue to use your credit as well. And things change within your credit. Of those 5 factors, things change. So if you continue to use your credit cards, you're gonna go over that threshold, then that's going to negatively impact your credit score. If you continue to apply for things in your credit, then that's going to impact your credit score. So you go out and you apply for, we're talking about somebody that has good credit, right? You go out, we assume that you're going to get approved, and you get 3-4 new cars all at the same time within a short period of time. That's going to negatively affect your credit score, because the credit bureaus are looking, what's going on with this person? Why are they getting so much credit right now? Is there something going on? And so they're risk averse. And like an attorney, they're risk averse, and they don't want to put themselves in a bad light. So your credit score may go down. That's also when you go apply and you get that new credit, it's also going to negatively impact your length of history. Before, if you had a length of history that said you had 7 years worth of history, or 7 years credit history in the length, then now you've got 3-4 new credit cards that brings down your length of history. So those are some of the factors that go into how your credit card, how your credit just doesn't maintain on its own. And when you do that, you're almost like a person that has no credit, doesn't use credit at all. They just don't use it at all. So when you go in to try to get something, people are saying, well, you don't have any credit, and you think that that's a good thing, that you don't have credit. You don't have debt. That means you don't have debt. You don't owe anybody. You think that's a good thing. It is a good thing for your pocket. Maybe that's a good thing for your pocket, but when it comes down to your credit score and them evaluating you, they have nothing to evaluate you on. So then that's why those people that don't have credit, don't use credit, have a tough time establishing credit, especially the older you get. Everybody's looking around like, why in the world don't you have any credit? What's going on with you? You're 45 years old. Why don't you have any credit? You're 32 years old. Why haven't you done anything with your credit in your lifetime since you've been an adult? So those are some of the reasons why you just can't keep good credit. That's what goes on with people, and that's why you can't keep good credit. So that's why it happens. Sometimes also your credit score fluctuates for no apparent reason at all. Sometimes it just seems to do that. It just fluctuates. It might go down 10, 12 points or whatever it is. It seems to fluctuate for no apparent reason. Well, we don't have the exact full formula for FICO or for even say Vantage Score to see, okay, here's why this particular thing happened on your credit this particular time. We don't have that. It could simply just be that one of your accounts didn't report that particular month, so it could have negatively impacted your credit score. We just don't know those things. So those are some of the reasons that your credit score just fluctuates on its own. But you've got to use credit. You've got to keep it and maintain your good credit score. You've got to use it. You just can't get to that threshold and then no longer use it anymore. Although that's a lot of people's goals. That's one of my goals. I don't want to have to use credit at all. I want to pay off all my credit cards, never have to use them again. But of course, I'm going to have a car payment. It just is what it is. I'm going to have a car payment. I'm going to have a mortgage. So it's going to be things that I'm going to have to do with my credit. And I wouldn't go out, and I'm not suggesting anybody do this, wouldn't go out to try to maintain my credit if you've got good credit already by just picking up another account. Now, that doesn't mean I wouldn't suggest that to some of my credit clients, because I do suggest it, and I suggest it often, especially those that are trying to improve their credit score. If you're trying to go from 602 to 700, you've got to do some positive things. You can't just even take off the negative things that are on your credit report and try to get to that 700, 750 score. You've got to do some positive things as well. Oftentimes, if you go to credit repair places and they're just telling you, okay, cool, we're going to take this collection off, we're going to try to get your late payments off of your credit report, and then you think, okay, boom, if they do that, I'm gonna shoot to 800, no problem at all, because I have no negatives on my credit report. What about the other factors that are on your credit report? What about how many inquiries you got? What about what that payment history says, even if you don't get all of the things off your credit report? What does your utilization say? How long is your credit history? Now, all of those factors you've got to be able to manipulate in your favor. That's what I do. That's what I'm an expert at, is manipulating the factors in your favor to help your credit score go up using the tools that we know that we have at our disposal. So that's what I do. And so if you need some help, you know what you can do. You can always call me, 312-600-5855, or shoot me an email at 800@creditscoreman.com. So I got to give a couple more shout outs, and I said this last week. I wanted to do this. So, and shout out to Rob Ortiz as well. Last week I mentioned that I was going to come on this week, and I was going to block out some time for you guys to do some free 20-minute credit consultations. I said I was going to do that next week, so I can do that on Tuesday of this week. I'm going to block out 20 minutes per person to do some free credit consultations. So I'm going to do that on Tuesday, and it's going to be the first, eight people, the first 8 people that contact me. So you got my email address, right? 800@creditscoreman.com. Email me there. Or if you want to go ahead and hit me on Twitter, you can do that as well, at @creditscore_man on Twitter, and ask for an appointment, and I'll get you on the list. The first 8 people, or text me. Text me at 312-600-5855. Don't call me and ask for the appointment, because I'm not answering the phone today because I'm hanging out with my sons. So we're going to do that, all right? And so let me give you a couple more shout-outs. Cassandra Brown, she celebrated her birthday, so happy birthday to you. Angie Terrain, today is Angie Terrain's birthday, so happy birthday to you, Angie. Alicia Gaffney also celebrated her birthday this week, so happy birthday to you, Alicia Gaffney. Now, look, I'm basically done with the show. So I want you guys to do one thing for me this week. Contact me if you want this free 20-minute consultation. Come with your questions. Contact me if you've got some things that you think I want to look at or talk about on the on our consultation. Then put that in your email, 800@creditscoreman.com. Put that in your email, or if you hit me on Twitter as well, let me know what's up. I'm doing 8. If you don't know, Cameron is 8. So that's why I picked 8. So Cameron is turning 8 on tomorrow. So that's why I picked 8. So contact me, get it on my schedule, and Tuesday we're going to get it in, and you're going to get this free consult and see what we can do to help you move your credit score in the right direction. So I just want to recap real quick. Here's some things that you want to do when it comes to your debt utilization. You want to make sure you get down to 30%. By hook or crook, there's several ways to do that. One of the ways, of course, is taking that money and paying those credit cards down. That's a way to help bring your utilization down. Another way is if you've been a good steward over your credit,